Employers who mistakenly believe they can willfully violate labor laws at the expense of employees and competitors must understand that we will do everything within our rights to bring them to justice.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Adam, talk to us about what's going on in Georgia right now.
Sure, yeah. As we do from time to time, we like to highlight bosses behaving badly. Local media loves to highlight when poor folks get arrested. We try to highlight, a little bit something different because employers tend to behave badly, but often don't get the same consequences as employees. And we had a bad boss story out of Georgia. A court ordered a Georgia auto shop operator to pay over $39,000 in back wages, damages, and forbids the owner from discriminating and retaliating against employees. So it's 811 Auto Works LLC operating as AOK Walker, and this comes from Judge Timothy C. Batten of the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. Back on June 13th, he issued a consent judgment and permanent injunction in response to a suit brought by the U.S. Department of Labor alleging retaliation against a former employee by 811 Auto Works LLC, which is a Peachtree City auto repair shop operating as AOK Walker Luxury Auto Works, and it's owned by Miles Walker. So an investigation by the department's Wage and Hour Division found the employer retaliated against a former employee who contacted the division after the employer failed to pay his final wages. Investigators learned that Walker later paid the former employee's final wages of $915 by delivering about 91,500 oil-covered pennies in a pay stub marked with an expletive to the worker's home. The employer also published defamatory statements about the former employee on the company's website. Wow. What a salty SOB. Oh, wow. To pay you in 91,500 pennies and to cover them in oil and to attach them to a pay stub with an expletive and then to bash you on the company website, all because you had left the job and you would like to receive your final paycheck. You didn't receive your final paycheck, so you contacted the authorities, as any reasonable person would. So the division also determined that Walker, the owner, violated the FLSA's overtime provisions by paying the complainant and other employees straight time rates for all hours worked, including for hours over 40 in a work week when an overtime rate of pay was legally required. Oh, imagine that. This guy who's acting like a total jackass also violates overtime laws. So the court ordered the auto shop operator to pay $39,934, which represents the back wages owed, and an equal amount in liquidated damages to 9 workers. In addition, the judge's order permanently forbids the employer from violating federal minimum wage and overtime provisions, and specifically requires them to do the following: remove all photographs of and references to the former employee who was retaliated against from the company website, and never post photos or references about the employee again. Post the consent judgment immediately in all conspicuous places in its facility where employee notices are usually posted, and conspicuously display a division fact sheet on prohibiting retaliation under the FLSA in its facility. From the U.S. Department of Labor Regional Solicitor, Tremel Howard in Atlanta, she said, the court has sent a clear message to employers such as Miles Walker, who subject employees to unfair wage practices and outright intimidation and retaliation. By law, worker engagement with the U.S. Department of Labor is a protected activity. Workers should not fear harassment or intimidation in the workplace. Employers who mistakenly believe they can willfully violate labor laws at the expense of employees and competitors must understand that we will do everything within our rights to bring them to justice. Workers are entitled to obtain the wages they earned without fear of harassment or intimidation, said Wage and Hour Regional Administrator Juan Correa in Atlanta. The Wage and Hour Division will use all tools available to ensure workers' rights are protected and that employers do not retaliate against them when they assert these rights. This case should serve as notice to employers that retaliation will not be tolerated. just a wild story. I've heard of people like paying a final bill or something in all pennies just to, as kind of a screw you thing. But I can't recall a case where an employer paid someone's final paycheck in pennies, oil-covered pennies at that. Wow, that is pretty low down. You get busted, you refuse to pay someone their final paycheck, and that happens to workers a lot of times, whether it's service industry, an auto shop like this. I've known plenty of folks over the years who, have a lot of trouble getting that very final paycheck, because once you quit, or, you get a different job, a lot of times they try to cheat you out of that final check. And that's what they did here. They tried to cheat this gentleman out of his final check. He called the wage and hour division. They pay him in pennies. Just a total ridiculous move. Hope this Miles Walker small business tyrant has learned some lessons. Frankly, I think the amount he had to pay was pretty modest, considering like how egregiously he retaliated against this person, to like go online even. I mean, it's out there. So that one came across my radar. We tend to check what the Department of Labor is putting out for press releases just to see, what's going on, any cases in the South, particularly in Alabama. But this one came across my radar and really stood out.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.